And now you want to pull a, what do you call it?
Time heist?
Yeah, time heist. Of course. Why didn't we think of this before?
Hello there, I'm Jordan Collier and this is the Storybook Wealth Builder channel, where in this video we will explore how a time heist is occurring right before our eyes. No, I don't mean some shady government agency has some malevolent time traveling machine trying to manipulate the past to alter the future. I mean in regards to government stealing your time through the debasement of our global fiat currencies. This is brought to light in an easy-to-follow book called Thank God for Bitcoin, The Creation, Corruption, and Redemption of Money, which I'll be reviewing in this video. I was first made aware of this book by a family member who suggested I give this book a shot. Well, at least in audiobook format, making my 3-hour round-trip commute to and from work a little more bearable. I also wanted to better understand the hype surrounding crypto. My curiosity was in large part due to my previous severe lack of understanding for the stock market and how bad word of mouth and experiences from people I knew bent my view of the stock market in one particular purview. What surprised me the most about this book is how little it talks about the technicals of crypto.
The signature key should be embedded below the rear parallax inverter.
Just tell me what to rip out.
Which I feel could become a rabbit hole of confusion. The first 2/3 cover the history of how money has evolved from ancient Greece to our current monetary system today. This was probably my favorite aspect of the book, learning about past money systems and how every society, including ours, cheats the system in the attempt to get more out of each dollar. As an example, the book takes a look at the
You summoned me, King Darius?
Nope, I mean the denarius, which the ancient Greeks used. Their coins had a set amount of silver in each of their coins, but over time, the people in charge of creating the coins added less and less silver to each coin until it was mostly bronze, and therefore worthless. They did this in the hopes of expanding the kingdom, but in the end, people of the time began rejecting the denarius as payment, for it had become too abundant, so they flocked to other forms of payment that were scarce, and ultimately their value could be held better. Sounds like history may be repeating itself. Eventually, the book moves into the territory of our current monetary system, which actively reminds the readers from the setup of the history of money to the current system is theft. Theft of time worked that equals a dollar earned from every hour that is continually devalued from a system that simply will create money out of thin air that has no value created from an hour worked. Basically, there is a value created when you work and none created when it is printed. Framing our monetary system as theft seemed extreme at first, but not hard to imagine that it could be true. Goes to show how easily it is to accept this system without considering any alternatives. This is made possible when governments moved off the gold standard, where money was backed by gold, to a fiat currency, money by decree. This transition meant that the value of money itself was now to be found on a belief or faith that it has value. Bitcoin and cash are really no different in the sense that they both rely on faith, that they can hold value. But the question is then, what holds value better? The one that more of it can be created from nothing, or the one that can't? Once the book has set up a framework for how we got to our current system, it finally gets into how Bitcoin is a better money. One of the reasons that justified Bitcoin as a more moral money was how there can only be 21 million Bitcoins. If we were on a Bitcoin standard, government programs wouldn't be free to grow unchecked, but bounded by a limited resource. Funding for programs would be under much greater scrutiny and would require much more creativity to get more from less. This is not in the best interest of governments. With their own central banks, these banks allow for continual spending, creating bigger government that want more regulations, more control, and less checks and balances. In conclusion, I hope this short review has shown that if you are a Christian or not, there is a common issue we can all rally around that affects everyone. As a Christian myself, I appreciated this book tying in biblical scripture to better illustrate that the troubles of the past are just alive and well today. Lastly, Ephesians 4:29 reads, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up, according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen." Hopefully that was achieved in this review. If you appreciated this content, then please do the cliche thing and force choke all the buttons of the like and subscribe variety. It really is a meaningful thank you for taking the time to create this content. And with that, I'll see you all in the comments.